There have been only a handful of teams in NBA history whose dominance has labeled them as a dynasty. From the Boston Celtics in the 1960s, through the Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls in the 90s, and most recently the Warriors, NBA fans have seen some unforgettable teams whose accomplishments will forever leave an indelible mark on NBA history, and the next team that will reach that status is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, many would say that it is too early to say that since they have yet to win anything, but the Thunder are slowly but surely taking over the league. But wait a minute, didn't we say the same when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were running the show in OKC? How can this small market team not just get on top of the league but stay that long to be called a dynasty? Well, these are all legit questions, and before we give you the answers, make sure you subscribe to the Ball Fake channel and hit that like button. The Thunder are considered one of the main favorites to win the NBA championship this season, since they have the best record in the West from the beginning of the season. The reigning Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault, came into the season with the youngest roster in the entire league, as the Thunder players average only 24.2 years of age. Despite that, they are playing with a high level of maturity, being the best defensive team in the league by allowing a league-low 103.5 points per game on 42.8% shooting from the field. Yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the rest of the crew are playing excellent on the court, but all that would not be possible without the mastermind behind it, the Thunder GM, Sam Presti. He took over the general manager role back in 2007, the last season when the team was located in Seattle. Being a 30-year-old at the time, no one really believed in him, and many still do not give him enough credit since the franchise has yet to win a single championship. But all that will change this season. Presti was so close to taking the franchise to the top of the NBA in 2012. After a couple of perfect draft selections, he built a young roster with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, but they failed just short against the Miami Heat with their big three. The Thunder kept pushing, and were only one win away from returning to the NBA Finals in 2016. And after blowing out a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors, Presti's strategy was hit hard by Kevin Durant's departure. The Thunder quickly recovered from that by adding Paul George and Carmelo Anthony to Russell Westbrook. But no matter how good they were, simply there were better teams at the time. That team quickly fell apart, and most of the GMs would have been either fired or quit at that time. But Presti is different. He got back to work and traded Paul George to the Clippers, which ended up being one of the best trades in NBA history. In that trade, the Thunder received Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was just a talented 21-year-old at the time. Again, Presti was ready to build the team around an uprising star, but this time, he made sure he surrounded him with the right type of players. A decade ago, he had Durant, who led the league in scoring in 4 seasons while with the Thunder, but he surrounded him with Russ and Harden, 2 players who also wanted to dominate the ball. With the lesson learned, Presti put role players around Shai. Jalen Williams and Lou Dort are defensive specialists. He made the D even stronger with the last signings of Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Chet Holmgren has superstar potential and suits perfectly well next to Shai. Role players like Cason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins do a great job on both ends of the floor, which gives this roster a harmony every team needs. But that is not all the assets Presti has. The Thunder already look like a championship team, but as a matter of fact, they have the 7th lowest payroll in the NBA and have 32 draft picks by 2031. So the Thunder already have the best team in the Western Conference, have plenty of space under the salary cap to sign elite players, and are loaded with draft picks that bring valuable trade assets and the potential to add plenty of young talent every single year. So, Presti needed almost 2 decades and even more rebuilds to get to the point of having a winning team. There is no better team in the league than the Thunder this season, and their dominance will grow as time progresses. So whatever your favorite team is, get used to seeing the Thunder dominating the league and win the majority of the championships in the next 6 to 7 years.